PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, also known as PUBG, requires a variety of skills to win a match. Things like where you land, what weapons you take, and where you go within the circle all matter a ton. But let's boil down the game into its simplest, purest form. PUBG is a game about winning a series of aim duels in order to be the last person standing. The most crucial, pivotal skill one can have in the game is their ability to aim and shoot effectively. I'm Echolocation, this is PUBG Fundamentals, let's talk about aiming mechanics. Aiming mechanics are basically just how you shoot and where you're looking. Things like how you control your spray, where you set your crosshair, and how you peek are all part of it. First, let's talk about shooting. There are 3 firing modes: hip firing, shoulder firing, and iron sights or scope firing. Hip firing is useful during close combat where movement and avoiding fire is important and the bullets are unlikely to miss due to the distance. Shoulder firing is an accurate firing mode that is great for mid-range combat and keeps your field of view open. This is most effective when a target is too far to hip fire but too close to scope in on. Iron sights or scoping provides some level of zooming and is going to be your go-to long-range combat mode. With all scopes, you can press and hold shift to take a breath. This steadies your aim and will zoom you in further with basic sights but not scopes. Recoil in PUBG is pretty simple. The spray basically just goes straight up. There's a horizontal aspect to this, but that varies from gun to gun. Controlling your recoil is a matter of counteracting the upward kick by pulling down smoothly as you shoot. There isn't necessarily a rule to this motion, but here's an example of controlling the spray with the ump you saw previously. I'm pulling down in a smooth motion during each of these clips. You can see how wide the spread is between each firing mode, even in this short distance. Scoping will always be the most accurate, but sometimes it's hard to follow a moving target with it compared to hip firing, where you can just sort of spray them down. Focus on that smooth pull down as you shoot. The recoil in this game isn't actually that bad compared to the animation, especially with attachments. The most important thing is putting as many bullets as you can at your opponent as quickly and accurately as you can. All first-person shooters that I'm aware of have this special spot you can rest your crosshair that is level with someone's head regardless of how far away you are. Cool, right? You can go back and forth and you're still right on their head. You don't have to be perfect, but it's good to know approximately where this height is and hover around that location as your default aiming position. Now, this may sound obvious, but try to keep your crosshair where someone could actually be if you feel like there are people around. When you're approaching a door, don't let your crosshair wander. I sometimes see people looking down or away from where they're about to go. Don't do this. Look directly head or chest height at the door, or maybe at the window next to it, just somewhere relevant. Let's break down an example. As I go up these stairs, my crosshair is always going to be in a position where I think that somebody could be. I check behind, I check to the side to make sure that there's no one there. My crosshair is always into the hallway. As I'm going up through the hallway, it's always around chest height. I hear him to the right of me, and as I turn the corner, he's right in front of me. He was luckily crouching, so I was able to get a double headshot and get the kill. Pre-aiming is, I would say, one of the most important aspects of crosshair placement. It involves a little bit of memorizing where the layout of the buildings are, but the core concept is that you line up your aim before you step out and look somewhere. By doing this, you require either little or no hand movement. You can just step out and start shooting if you see someone. In this example, I suspect there is someone in this building next to me, so I proceed to clear the area by systematically pre-aiming and checking each area I think someone might be. Turns out there was no one in here, but take note of my crosshair placement throughout this. I'm always looking into the wall and walking out staring directly at various camping spots. Muscle memory in first-person shooters is your instinctual understanding of how far your hand and wrist need to move in order to reach a certain location with your crosshair. Building this muscle memory takes time, but thankfully PUBG has a really nice location to practice this comfortably. At the beginning of each match, go grab a gun and pick someone not moving. Look away from them, and then try to flick to them and shoot. Thanks for watching, I hope this was helpful. In the next episode, I'll be discussing the parachuting mechanics of the game, which includes the pros and cons of various drop locations, the furthest you can float from the plane, the fastest way to get to where you want to go, and other complexities of parachuting. If you'd like to be notified of when that comes out, feel free to subscribe.